I'm gonna flip the camera, but this is where we're working today, you guys. This is the silverware drawer that has little baby moths crawling around. And they're not moths with wings. They are, I don't know what they're called, but they're the little black bugs. They've hatched out of their little eggs. Now they're bugs. They're crawling around, and then I think they become moths. So let me say hi to you. So hi, I'm Katie, a mompreneur. I should be working now, but in my new thing, I clean the kitchen before I get to work. So today I was cleaning the kitchen, and to give you a backstory, I think we have a lot of moths in our house for a number of years. I don't know why. So it's become a thing that I'm becoming an expert on. It's finding moths. So this is possibly my new show because I'm called the Moth Hunter. I'm obsessed with finding them. They gross me out just like they gross out everybody. But I was talking to my Facebook friends last night, and I'm like, invite me over. I want to find moths in your house. So I kind of vowed to try to have a show to see if you like it called The Moth Hunter. So join me in this first episode of The Moth Hunter. So we're in my kitchen. I was cleaning, and I went to go put away this egg scraper. It's what I use to make scrambled eggs. I want to put it away in this drawer. Now to give you a background, I found moth stuff going on in this cabinet, right up there in my rice, okay? And there was like a couple bags of rice, and I threw them all out because I identified them. I took a picture of how you identify the eggs, and I shared it, and I'll share it maybe on Twitter. Anyway, so that causes me to be super alert, because if you see them, you know that they're now in other places. Last night, I saw a moth flying around my room at night, and that's a different kind of moth. These are pantry moths. They eat like food and rice and stuff. The one in my bedroom, I think, I'm reading about it last night, is called a clothing moth. And there's a few different kinds of clothing moths, but they tend to eat fibers like cotton, asbestos maybe, just fibers. So back down here in the kitchen, I've been looking around, and I'm going to show you where I've been looking to see where else are these moths, because I think they're here. Also note, I think moths are in everyone's house. So do I feel really bad that they're in my silverware drawer right now? Yes, I do. It's a little embarrassing. But I kind of think that they're everywhere. I actually think that they're like born in the food and just get created. So don't feel bad if you have moths. Even like people say this is an old home and maybe that's why we keep getting moths. And I don't know if that's it. I think it can even happen in new homes and in clean homes. But anyway, because of what's in the home, there's clothes in the home. Everybody has clothes. Everybody has rice. So let's take a look at what I've been looking at today. First, this morning, I was looking up at our ceiling because last night we have a moth flying around the bedroom on the ceiling, and that's been happening for like 2 years. So I finally decided last night, okay, the first show of the Moth Hunter is going to be me cleaning the ceiling and all of the dust in our room. But then I thought, okay, let's also look at this ceiling here, because we have these little things that hang down, which is what was happening last night in our bedroom. These little, you can't see them here, but they're these little teeny tiny things that just hang. And I always think they're dust that are accumulating up there. But I think now that they are actually cocoons, moth cocoons. So back to the scene of the current in-process hot crime, right? Is that what it's called, like a hot crime? Okay. With my binoculars on, I'm gonna get my flashlight for you. My moth binoculars are back on, right? Because I found the moths in the rice yesterday. So I kept away stuff like this, which is new. I just bought this. I kept it away because I thought, I don't want this to get infested, but we're gonna check it later to see. It might already be infested. I'm not sure. I went to put away the egg scraper, and I always do a check, and I'm waiting to open this because the bugs, this is not gonna be like a flying moth. It's gonna be a little black bug. And there's also gonna be little like sawdust particles that are gonna signal to us that there's moths in here. So I always do a little check you know, when I'm looking at this, because I've cleaned this out before. I've cleaned it out of other homes where I have found like total moth nests in their silverware drawers, you know, including mine. And this I just cleaned out a few months ago, but doesn't matter. Now this is the only, I'm keeping it closed because it's dark in there, and the little bugs and the cocoons, they like it dark. So because I want to show you them, I'm going to wait, I'm going to open this in just a second, but I want them to get back and comfortable in the dark so we can see them. But this is the only silverware drawer we have in our whole kitchen. Well, we have that one, but it's a junk drawer. So like everything is in here. It's really heavy. It is lopsided. It produces its own sawdust that is actually turned into this, which actually I should prioritize this and get rid of it because I bet moths are eating that. Moth little homes, it actually looks exactly like sawdust shavings when you find them. And you're finding them in their cocoons, they're little bugs. And I don't know why they make these shavings, but if you see this I know is wood because it comes from right here when we open up this drawer. But this actually looks identical to what a nest can look like. And that's when things have gotten really bad. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna turn my flashlight on. Now. All right, everything's clean. It's all sanitized in the dishwasher. Right here, guys, is where I look when I'm looking for the moths. And I'm looking for crumbs that look like cracker crumbs. And I was looking in here thinking, those look like cracker crumbs. I also see black cracker crumbs. Are those cracker crumbs? Are those dirt? Or are those little bugs? And yeah, I see one right here. There's a bug moving. Let's see if I can move the camera. I'm gonna keep it very still. Where's that guy? Okay, he is right. There he is. You see him? That's a moth in a bug form, I think. Even if it's not a moth, these come with moths. I think that these are moths because when I've seen big nests, big nests, these things are crawling around in it of where moths have come from. Like if you see moths flying around in your room, it's too late. Those guys, they're not eating anything. They are just laying eggs and mating. These guys are the product of a moth flying around your room. It starts out in a cocoon and it turns into that. I think it starts out in a cocoon. I'm just starting my research, but anyway. Here's what we have to do to clean this whole drawer. So now that you've seen what they look like, and these are the teeny tiny little clues that you are going to get to knowing that you have a moth problem in your silverware drawer. And you wouldn't have suspected because it's all clean, like it just went through the dishwasher. But for whatever reason, there's something in there they like. And this could be because it's a really old drawer. And maybe it is because of the wood. And they could be eating the wood in here as it turns into sawdust. So I can't sit down to work. I work from home. My office is over there in the next room. And I can't work in there until this is all taken care of. Look, that's wood. I think those are wood shavings back there. But the tricky part is moth nests often look like wood shavings. And we know that this drawer is old and can definitely have its own true wood shavings. All right, so it's not that bad, which is great. I've seen much worse. Not in this drawer, but in other drawers of other people's homes that I've been in as a moth hunter. I'm gonna let, this is so heavy. I'm just making more shavings. Now it could be, I only see one little bug in there, and that's awesome because I'm catching this early. Because he probably came down from up there and for whatever reason likes what's in here. So I'm glad I found it. I'm gonna sign off. This is the Moth Hunter signing off to go clean this drawer, which is not a bad job because I cleaned it 3 months ago. So I'm gonna wipe it down. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Keep your eye on your stuff because this is easy to detect and it will not turn into a big, huge infestation right now because I caught it so early. Keep in mind, I know you're thinking, oh, I have traps, I'll just trap them. No, you can trap those flying moths, but once they're flying, they're just laying eggs. They're not even eating anything. They're flying around, laying eggs on your ceiling, in your clothes, in your pantry, and those little bugs are getting born and hatching and cocooning, and they can live in cocoons for like months or sometimes even years. So get the traps all you want, but you gotta look for the bugs. So I'm glad we saw this one bug, because one bug is about to die. This is a moth hunter signing off from the kitchen in the silverware drawer. Catch this later at YouTube, because I'm uploading it there to my new playlist called The Moth Hunter. Bye.